So key point, I'm Alexander Surgeon, Mullen, the right name, Penguin Duck, birthmark 3:38 p.m., August 28th. So the people who make these threats, for instance, like, I'll make it so he never remembers his name again. Those kids know the technology is real that I speak of. That's why they make these threats. What they mean is they're going to use a radiation dispersal device, a WMD, which is a terrorist weapon, to damage my cerebral cortex and regions of my brain involved with memory. One. Or they mean they're going to use implantable devices, which requires the process implantation to disrupt memory and to disrupt memory processing into short and long term. So that means they know these WMDs are real. That means they are making terrorist threats in a sense. 3, that means they have access to these satellite new age neurosurgeries, which are WMDs, radiation dispersal devices, especially when they're being used in a weaponized form. Which also means they lied to law enforcement about terrorism and WMDs. And it also means the people who are planning to use the implantables know implantation is real, and they lied about that to law enforcement as well. So pay attention to their threats, because they make these threats. And partly the reason why they make these threats is because they know the technology I speak of is real. So if they're not going to let me do X, it's probably because they have an implantable to prevent such. Or if they're going to try to make me forget my name, it's probably because they have access to satellite new age neurosurgeries, radiation dispersal devices, WMDs. So pay attention to their threats and the things they threaten me with. And those are the people who know implantation is real and these satellite WMDs are real. And they also probably have access to them. And they also probably lied to law enforcement and committed obstruction of justice. Key point, not to mention then they're also making threats and intimidation, so that's obstruction of justice and witness tampering. But they're two different forms of obstruction of justice. It's not just with lying to law enforcement, it's also witness tampering, I think, which is also a form of obstruction of justice. So maybe 40 years for just that alone. Key point.